What's up everyone, Kurtzing here with a Great League Battle video. I went through kind of a list of top performing teams or teams that are being used by the top ranked players, picked out one and figured I'd give it a try. So in this one we've got Dewgong, Medicham, and Carbink. I happen to have the rank 1 Carbink, so I've got it fully powered up. I added the last few XLs to it before I did these battles. So we'll jump right into it, and I've got my Dewgong on the lead. They've got Talonflame. I believe that they switched out of something, I think. Anyways, I hit them with an Icy Wind and then switched into Carbink. Actually, they might have started with Talonflame. Anyways, Rock Throw's tearing through the Talonflame, and so I got rid of that, and then in comes Lantern. Lantern is a bit tricky for this team, especially if it's running Spark, as it's super effective against the Dewgong, and the Surfs are super effective against Carbink, and then Medicham kind of does okay with it, but I mean, even with Psychic, you gotta hit several Psychics on it. So I kind of get lucky there, I think, landing that Moonblast with no shield, and I got the attack debuff, so that's really good for me. So here they're going to send out another Surf. I decide to no shield that. I get to a Rock Slide, so I'm going to throw that, and it will do a decent chunk if they don't shield. They do let it go, so I'm able to Rock Throw down and get that pesky Lantern out of the way. So that's nice. Oh yes, they started with Charjabug. So Charjabug is another one that's a little bit tricky. Carbink's a great answer to it, but the X-Scissor is effective against Medicham, and then the Electric Fast Move, whichever one it uses, whether it's, I think, Spark or Volt Switch, both of them are effective against Dewgong along with the Discharge. So kind of trying to play around that a little bit here. I feel like I need to take one of these X-Scissors. I was hoping that I would catch a Discharge there, which they did. They did throw it. I think the timing was a little bit off, but I think they just got locked in there or whatever, and they still went for Discharge. So here I am able to get to an Ice Punch, and this should take them out if they don't shield. So I get their last shield, and I'm at another one, so works for me. Throw that, and that's a good game there. I get to get rid of that Charjabug, which is, like I said, a tricky team to play around there. Skarmory lead works well for me. I don't really need to worry about whatever they throw. Like a Brave Bird would do a decent amount of damage, but these Icy Winds will come fairly quick, and they do start to add up. They're debuffing their attack, and Ice is effective against flying, not so much the Steel type. So I am going to respect the potential Brave Bird and shield that, get to another Icy Wind, and throw this, and now I won't be shielding if they throw another one. And they've decided to switch out, and I kind of switched out at the same time. I didn't want to get farmed down, but I feel like I probably should have gone into Medicham, because like I said last battle, it's not a great matchup for Carbink against Lantern. As you can see there, by the time I get to the first Moonblast, they're already at 2 Surfs. Carbink is tanky, so they can take, probably with using Spark, they'll need 3 Surfs to take me out. But they've already thrown 2 of them, right? And I don't really want to use my last shield. So I'm trying to get to a Rock Slide, but they get to another Surf just before I get there, so I'm just going to let that go. And that takes me out. And then I do bring in Medicham. And here I think that I let the first move go through, saving my shield. That gets me into the yellow. And then I'm farming up, and I'm like, okay, throw the Ice Punch here. This should take them out if they decide to let it go. They do let it go. It doesn't quite take them out. One more counter knocks them out. So I'm looking to go back into my Dewgong, and I think I just simply lucked out on this one. They have a Dragonair in the back, and there's not really anything they can do at this point. I think I had an Ice Punch or very close to an Ice Punch loaded. I get their last shield with an Icy Wind, and I still have a shield, so they know that, they concede the match, and we move on. Jellicent lead, another one slightly tricky. The Hex and Shadow Ball, super effective against Medicham. Surf, super effective against Carbink. And then none of the moves that Dewgong has are really that effective against Jellicent. So figured I'd stay in here, hit them with some Icy Winds, debuff their attack, and then kind of just play it out. Do decide to go for the Drill Run here to try to do a little bit more damage than the Icy Wind would have. I'm kind of thinking that I should have done another Icy Wind, because then this attack, no, they did Shadow Ball, so it would have probably taken me out anyways. But this attack here, this Surf, would have done less if I had hit them with another Icy Wind instead of the Drill Run. So I think I would have been better off, because they get off 2 Surfs here. I definitely would have been better off to debuff them again, although they might have ended up switching out because they're not switch locked at all. So pesky Jellicent took out a Pokemon and got the other one down to half. And then they've got Wishigash in the back, so this is not looking like a good matchup for me, for this team here. I do get a shield, and then I switch into Medicham right away to avoid them farming me down. And I decided to let it go, thinking it would just be a Mud Bomb. It's unfortunately a Scald. And then they got a Talonflame in the back as well, so I'm just not looking good here. Carbink is a really good answer for Talonflame. But as you can see there, even the Psychic doesn't do the greatest. I guess they did debuff it, so I should possibly look at switching to a Dynamic Punch or something like that. See if that would help even more with this. I didn't look at the movesets that those other people were running. Just looked at Pokemon on the lists. So I do end up losing this match here, and overall for the sets that I did, I finished off a set. I think I won 2 of the 3 battles that I did, and then this one I went 4-1. So I figured I'd make a quick video on it, show you guys some gameplay on it. Dewgong into Venusaur. Definitely a good matchup for both sides, kind of. The grass is super effective, but the ice is also super effective. So kind of match shields. I'm going to shield that Frenzy Plant. I'm going to throw an Icy Wind, and every Icy Wind I can get off, they start doing less and less damage to me with their Vine Whips. So there, their attack dropped. I've got them in well into the yellow now, and I'm still green. So I'm going to shield up. And then at this point, I think I'm tempted to try to farm down. And I do manage to farm down. So that's really good. I have used both shields. However, I have a big energy lead here. And they bring in a Dewgong. And pretty much both Carbink and Medicham can beat the Dewgong. I did decide to go into Carbink instead of Medicham, because I know that they can hit me for drill runs, which are super effective, but I didn't want them to debuff my Medicham and then switch into something that was super effective against that. So I felt like I was better off to switch into Carbink. And for whatever reason, they decided to switch out into their Golbat. I think that won me the game, because I can take that Shadow Ball, go for a Rock Slide here, and I think they had a shield? Did they have a shield, or are they... Either way, I did manage to get the Rock Slide off there, and then Dewgong comes back in and takes me out, and at this point, Medicham is able to free and clear. How to switch into Medicham and they switched right away, I'm not sure, because the... what are they using? Air Slash or Wing Attack? For their fast move would have been super effective against Medicham. So I'm not 100% sure how that would have worked out there. So another Lantern lead. Again, kind of tricky to play because I don't want to just switch into Medicham because then they'll switch out and keep it away from me. But that is the best answer for it. However, drill runs do work really well against it, as you can see there. One drill run gets them into the yellow. So I can respect Thunderbolt here, shield that up, add another drill run. I'm expecting them to shield this. They decided to let it go, so that's perfect for me. Lantern's out of the way again. They bring in a Clodsire, and I know that Drill Run is effective against poison and it would be neutral, I think, against ground. But the Icy Wind is going to debuff them, and it's super effective anyways against the ground typing. So wasn't expecting the Mega Horn to throw up the shield and get to another Icy Wind, and at this point now I don't think I'll shield again because I do have good answers. Actually, I don't have good answers in the back. I was going to say I have good answers for it in the back, but I don't really. The Psychic, well, and Ice Punch from Medicham, but those Mega Horns would do a lot of damage to Medicham as well. But luckily I'm able to get to a last second Icy Wind here before they take me out. And that takes them out instead, and they have nothing to get arm on. So I bring in Carbink, and I think they just decide that that's enough. They're done. They can't win anymore. So and that was the end of the battles. So like I said, 4-1 set. Got a Carbink in as a reward, and you can see here that I was at like I think 2005 for Elo when I was doing these battles, so I did jump up to about 2049 or something like that. I'm really close, going back and forth at the bottom right at 2000. Hope you enjoyed it. See you guys in the next video. Thanks.